Hello everybody and welcome back to Kentauri Dreams. In today's episode we will be doing the long-awaited grand tour of the Proxima B system. I was very excited to make this episode, because it is a whole new system I get to explore. And so, yes, it's a pretty interesting attempt at flying a mission. And the Artemis is just, a cool space plane to fly. Now, the grand tour will be split into two parts. The first part, the one you're watching, will be us visiting the worlds of Iroh and Sian. Sian. But you can just see the Artemis departing from Narath right now. And so we continue our voyage. Just making sure to turn down my reactors before doing anything. And we got a nice periapsis around our first world, Iroh. So, we are currently just getting ready to perform said maneuver, and we have made our second correction maneuver, and we create our circularization burn. Our circularization maneuver. Now we just get a nice little shot, and we continue towards Iroh. And we begin our deceleration burn. It took me quite a while to decelerate. In fact, it took me a whole 3 passes of Iroh before I actually ended up decelerating. Because it was pretty hard to decelerate. It's because at this point you're so close to the system center that you're traveling around the star incredibly quickly. And also the sphere of influences are all really small. So you need to be very careful about all of your encounters and about decelerating at your encounters. Here I jettisoned some of the fuel tanks because they weren't really necessary, and jettisoning them saved a bunch of weight. So we now got back to burning target, and finally we were back on our course towards Iroh. And we finally, just now another shot, and finally we decelerated, and we got the periapsis that we wanted. Just here we finalized our orbit and got ready for an inclination change, which we perform here, and get ready to send down our probe. This is a probe that will be just scanning the atmosphere, scanning everything, and here it is. Here's the probe. And it will be landing on the dry land somewhere. It will take some pictures and send them back up to the Artemis. And we finally we got out of the cargo bay, admittingly using cheats because for some reason I couldn't really get it out. And we finally decelerated, and we actually flew through a cloud of dust, which I thought was really cool. We went through like a dust cloud. We landed on the surface, deployed our solar rays, switched to the right position, and we got ready to switch back to the Artemis. And we now set our course for Sian. And at this point, I actually realised that that this whole time when we'd been going to Narath, we'd been going to the wrong location. It's actually Sian, the place that we're meant to be going. Which is pretty annoying because, you know, we've set up quite a lot of infrastructure on Narath. But off goes the Artemis, performing its escape burn and flying away towards Sian. We're getting our maneuver ready just here, and well, we perform said maneuver. I actually have to say, I love the visuals included in Galaxies Unbound. They are just really, really good. All the scatter configs and everything, it all just makes the systems look really, really nice. Which is pretty cool. But we begin our deceleration maneuver around Sian, and well, we get a good periapsis. Not quite an optimal one though, because we accidentally decelerated a bit too much, and so we extended our periapsis out to 55 kilometers before making a couple of passes for deceleration. We made our lovely little plane change, and we are now in a stable orbit around Sian. And here I'm just getting a crew member around, and I found a weird glitch with free IBA. And so we continued by transferring Bill, Jebediah, and Valentina from the cryopod into the space plane. Then what we did is we undocked the space plane, but my game crashed, and so I reloaded it. But I forgot to record a little sequence where I docked to the front of the Artemis and transferred Bob Kerman on board. And so we began our flight through the clouds, and we deployed a single air brake so that we could, like we did on Eve, so that we could keep a stable pitch and not just fall. And, well, right now we are coming in for our first of many landing attempts, because the Condor Omen is incredibly hard to fly, and which is why I'm very looking forward to my second generation interstellar ship, which will bring two carbon dioxide powered nuclear SSTOs, which is going to be pretty cool. I've already tested the SSTOs and they work perfectly. I built them using the OPT mod, which was pretty fun. And yeah, which means they're incredibly aerodynamic. They look amazing, and I'm honestly pretty proud of how they turned out. But in any case, we are coming in for our final landing attempt, which actually somehow succeeded after flopping about for a little while. We actually managed to land. And so Jebediah Kerman went on an EVA, planted our flag for a new world, took a couple of surface samples, and got back into the Condor. Not without a bit of fiddling, though. And we targeted the Artemis, and well, after quite the odd little process for getting up into the air, we used the Omen's incredible power to absolutely shoot us out of the atmosphere. And this is only running at about 30% thrust, which is pretty cool. Yes, the Omens have got more than enough fuel to do most things around the star. So we got a higher apoapsis so that we could wait for the Artemis to come round below us, and we plotted our intersect course with the Artemis. And well, we got ready to perform the maneuver, which we just did. The intersect wasn't very good, and so after a bit of editing of our intersect course, we managed to get a pretty good one at about 4.4 kilometers. And after a bit of editing, we got a bit closer to the Artemis, to about 0.8 kilometers, and we slowly got closer and closer to the Artemis. I can't remember, but I think the plumes of these thermal turbojets aren't actually radioactive, because I've used the thermal turbojet next to the Artemis and no problems have arisen. And so we got closer and closer to the Artemis, and we got ready for our docking sequence, which was actually fairly complicated. Luckily, the footage is sped up here. The docking sequence actually took kind of ages, because I needed to dock the rear end onto the Artemis, which was pretty difficult. But as you can see right here, we got closer and closer, and we docked.